Welcome to the Bridging Insider. Today our guest is Anne. And Anne, how are you hoping that we'll be able to help you today?
Well, I probably have a lot of things, but I would like to work on a pain that comes and goes, I think, under stress. And it starts up at my neck and down my left side.
Okay. I have met Anne before, but usually she's with another family member, and it's her turn today. So she does have a few things that have happened to her in the past. She fell and broke a hip and had that replaced. So different than a previous episode, which was just a hip replacement for wear and tear. She's also had some other surgeries and radiation and just the things that accumulate in life. So we'll see what all of that's going to look like. I'm Kara Lindell. I'm the founder of the Bridging Technique, and it's where we use the physics of movement, looking at the little micro movements, how they flow and transition, and where they get stuck is often where you have tightness and pain. And it comes from my background of being a movement specialist and a systems engineer. And that's how we take a look at things from an engineering problem-solving basis. So we're going to look at how are things working standing, sitting, laying down, and see what's working well and what needs a little help. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have you just stand right where you are. I'm going to just move a little bit this way and that and see how everything's moving. Okay, I can tell the right hip is not helping her out, and that's the one you had replaced, right?
Right.
So if I hold here, yeah, the right hip is just, when I try to move it, it feels like it's grabbing. And it keeps her from turning, and that can cause problems with balance, which is not one of your main concerns.
No.
But that's okay. Sit down. Let's see how I'm going to come behind you. You may notice our set looks a little different. We're in a new office, and it's our new set, so you'll be seeing this going forward. And okay, so I'm looking for do right and left match. I can easily move you to the left and not to the right. And so the tightness is on the left side, which is where you're having the pain.
Right.
And we're going to see if you turn, and not so much either way, but I do sense the tightness is really on that left side. Lay down for me with your head over here.
Okay.
And there we go. So we're just going to do a quick check on the legs. Even though the pain can be at the shoulder, it might be a result of things from the hip. So that moves all right, but this one is way easier. And does it turn? Yes. And this one does not really turn. So big difference between right and left. Does she turn in the middle? Yes. So it's not the core, it's actually the leg. And wait, this is the one that was replaced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's going to be very interesting. Okay, and a quick check on arms. So I'm just going to wiggle. Okay, this one doesn't really want to move very easily, but it does move, so that's good. And let's see how it connects in. Any of that hurt?
No, not at this time.
And so there is a stretchiness at the shoulder, which I like to see. And let's see about this one. So we're going to just see how easily, much easier, but it's very stiff at the shoulder. And while I'm here, I'm going to scoop underneath and see how shoulders themselves move. They're okay. They could be a little bit easier. The left is a little bit stiffer. And again, that's the side you're having pain with. So we're going to see how your head moves. Little bits. I would like it a whole lot easier, but at least it's moving and it's pretty matched up. So let's see some things with your core. I'm going to grab an arm and a leg, and I'm going to roll you toward me, so don't help. Oh, you're not rolling. And I can feel it's stuck right here. And that is where you had it replaced. So let's try the other side. And, oh, okay, that one's even harder. It's like your whole left side is kind of jazzed up. What else has happened to you on that left side?
I did fall on my knee
Okay.
once, and that just swelled up, but I'm able to walk on it. It's a little tight now, but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
You know.
Roll onto your stomach. Go roll that way. And I'm just going to take a quick look at the hips. So that one moves nicely, but it doesn't turn. And the left one does not, it's called extend. It doesn't lift back, and it doesn't turn. So that's so interesting. This is the one that was replaced, and this is the one that's stuck. Let's see about shoulders. The right one moves, and the left one does not. Okay, and roll back this way on your back, and then sit up.
And sit up.
Sit up. So what I'm going to have you do is on your side, laying this way. So I want you to lay down on your side, but facing that way.
Wait,
yeah.
Okay.
And I should have grabbed a pillow in here. So since I forgot to, I'm going to just give you this to support your head. And if that's too much, we'll... Okay, I want to see the right side moves better, and that's one of our rules is we start with what moves better, and we use all the movement that is nice to cascade into what moves not so well. Okay, so that is moving nicely, and let's see if we can get her shoulder to move better. So I'm just keeping this still and matching up movement between different parts. So kind of giving it a rocking motion back and forth, and this is the bridging technique where we use a little movement and then a little stretch to restore pairing between groups of muscles. So in the core, there are so many different groups of muscles, and they all work in different ways. They have lots of different jobs, and a lot of Anns are doing a really great job, but very specific ones need a little refresher. There. So she's getting really nice movement in the core and this leg, and let's just double check the leg. So we can get a little bit of turning. I would like a little bit more, but I think we'll be okay with that for right now. This one, and I'm gonna grab one of my little squishy peanuts to support. This is the side you had some surgery and some radiation, and it just seems like everything is very pulled, like, whoopsie. Oh, there's one for the blooper roll. It just feels like everything in this whole shoulder is just kind of collapsed in, very tight. So we're just gonna add a little movement to help fluff it back out, and then your shoulder starts to move better. And I'm matching, my backhand is on her shoulder blade, so we want to match the movement from the pec muscles to the muscles that hold the shoulder blade in place. Those need to work together. Those are a couple of teams that are important for a lot of arm and shoulder motion. But when this relaxes, it also lets the muscles up to the neck relax, and that may be part of the pain on the left side, is that your head's pulled tight on the right. There. That's better. Yay. Can you tell the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so tell you what, I want you to sit back up, and we're going to go back the other way. And let me get
these off.
you untangled.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah, perfect. And we'll just go this way. There we go. And so this is the side that wasn't moving before, and already the left hip pelvis is starting to move better. The left shoulder we'll come back to. I want to make sure that this left leg it's moving. Wow. So working on the right side helped the left. So no amount of stretching on the left would have helped clear this up, because the issue is actually held in place from the right side. And, oh, there, it's turning very nicely and much lighter. So now let's figure out about this left shoulder. And so you had no injuries up here. Let's just take the fall guy for everything else. So same idea as what we did on the right side. We're just supporting from the front. I can use my hand, but it's a more gentle and more broad support because that's a big muscle, and the back side is a big muscle, and the whole of each muscle group needs to work together. So here we go. And what I'm waiting for is to feel that the whole upper part of her shoulder kind of fans out like this. It's close. And again, what's tight at the shoulders can affect the neck because of the way that the muscles interconnect with the shoulders and the head. There we go. Feel that start to move?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ah. Okay, now there's some movement up and down in this whole area. So I'm going to take this, let you go on your stomach since you're almost there, and let's recheck what's going on with the legs. And let me get you unwrapped. Oh, usually we do okay with the cords, but today, okay, that was the right, and it couldn't turn like this. And left, I couldn't lift it, and now that's much easier. And it turns, and they match. I would like, and most people, to have more turn on both of those, but they match, and that's actually the most important thing. So shoulder, that one moves. Okay, now we have movement on the left shoulder. So that's what we were looking for. So, and roll back to that side, so you're on your back. And we're gonna check all the first things that we checked. So just lifting a leg. They feel much more similar weight-wise, and that one turns, and now this one turns. So even though that one wasn't bothering you.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and shoulder, this is the one that was tight, and that moves a whole lot easier, and there's some stretchy interconnectedness, and I'm gonna hold on to your glasses, and there's a bit more stretch to that shoulder as well. So I'll tell you what, you can put your glasses back on.
Okay.
There we go. And let's see what's going on with shoulders in this direction. Much more playful. And let's see if your head moves. Much more movement, especially turning and forward and back. All right. One last thing to recheck, and that is, how do you roll? And so I'm going to grab an arm and a leg. This side was too hard for me to lift, and you didn't turn. So I can lift and turn now. So the whole heaviness in that left side cleared up. And let's see about the right side. Very good, and they match pretty much. So come on and sit up. And let's see how easily she's swaying from side to side. Very nice. And now turning.
Wow.
Yeah, and then stand up. And so we're going to go just the same thing side to side. Oops. Guess we have to practice that one. There we go. And turning. Okay, that's much better. And then forward and back. Yay. Now, because your head did end up being a little looser, I want to make sure that it is centered when you're standing. Very nice. And does it go sideways the same? Goes a little bit easier to the left. And I'm waiting for it to match up to the right. There we go. Okay. And some forward and back. Yeah. So just to recap, even though she had pain from the neck and kind of around to her side, that left side really was tight, but that wasn't the source of what was going on. Between what was locked down from, actually, that's the hip. So we don't know why that left hip was so tight.
Yeah.
Mystery. but also from the interventions that she had medically on the right shoulder, right chest, that that diagonal was kind of keeping her whole core locked down, and then the tightness here was kind of pulling her head off center a little bit, and then that gave the stress on the left side. So hopefully that will be a thing of the past.
Yes. Oh, hopefully.
And love to have you come back another time, and we'll see like if that's the still some issue, or if something else has popped up. And for those of you at home, if you've got some concern and you'd be interested in seeing if we'd be able to help you, on our website is an intake form. You can give us all of your relevant injuries and medical procedures so that we can give you an idea of how we might be able to help you with your pain or coordination, and sometimes even anxiety when all the parts of the body don't work well together. And for those of you who may be professionals who want to learn the bridging technique, the link to that is also in the show notes. So thank you for joining us. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you get more of these episodes. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.